Now let's talk about frequency control, things like EQ, gates, and compressors. Frequency control tools like gates reduce unwanted noise, while compressors manage dynamics. For example, a gate can silence a mic when no one is speaking, and a compressor can smooth out a vocalist's performance. So let's say, for example, you have someone on your team who is singing a song and the drums are directly behind them. Well, if they're not singing and they do one of these or one of these or anything when they're not singing, we don't need that microphone just picking up the drums that are behind them or other ambient noises that could be getting into that could lead into things like feedback and such. So when the audio level, what we're going to tell the gate, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and open it up here, and we're already on gate. If we have the gate on, you're going to see this red line that's dropping down here. If my audio isn't making it past this threshold that we've set here, which we can change, then it's not letting any audio through the rest of the console to come out of the speakers. And that can help eliminate quite a few issues. This gets used a lot on drum mics as well, so that maybe the low tom mic isn't picking up a bunch of cymbals and other things when the tom isn't actually being struck. The other thing we talked about is a compressor. I'll go ahead and leave the gate on for now, and we'll just go over to our compression. A compressor can be very useful, especially when we're talking about modern music, modern worship style vocals, where we're using like 10-to-1 compression ratios here. This one's currently set to 3-to-1, but what it's doing is it is taking all of the waveforms that we're seeing when we're looking at audio, and it is sort of bringing them down into something that says, okay, if this peaks at this amount, we're going to bring it down this amount, so much, so that we lose some of the dynamics. Now, that might sound kind of odd, losing dynamics, but it can help control the vocals so that if somebody suddenly has an outburst like this, or they're getting really quiet, it helps to keep it much more manageable. And it can also be used to help kind of bring out some of those more whispery vocals and things that are pretty common these days. So if we set this to have let's see, it's set 3-to-1 right now because I'm just speaking. I'm not singing anything to you. But let's say we were to change the ratio. We could do that. On here, though, we're going to bring that threshold down so we see it engaging here. And actually turn the compressor on so you can see what's happening. And we're seeing how much reduction is being made by the compressor to help keep the dynamics smaller so that it's a much more controlled and even signal that's making it through the rest of the chain. We're going to turn on a soft knee because it's a vocal, so we don't want it to be super harsh. And then there's makeup gain. And this is what is used to kind of help elevate those softer vocals where we're compressing it at a 3-to-1 ratio in this particular instance. So I'm going to click on this gain, and we want to actually bring that gain up. Here's kind of an example of that fat channel mixing as well. I've got this is kind of now this entire upper strip is all about this one channel. And there's 3 different things here. So I'm going to go to the third one down here. You can see it is changing that right there. So there's my makeup gain. I'm doing a 3-1, so I'm going to put it between 3 and 4 in that makeup gain to kind of make up for the loss of the volume that's come from the amount of compression. We're still getting a more even waveform, but we're now going to bring the volume of that up. If I were to select our ratio here, we can change that stuff right here. And so let's take it to like a modern vocal. See how it's bringing that down quite a bit. Set to infinity. Wow, that really jumped up there. So we're at a 10-1, which is pretty common for modern vocals. And then we'll change the threshold up here. So we're really kind of only ducking in about 3 or so dB on this. Check, 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 check. This depends on how many transients and things you want to pull out of the vocal that's coming in, how much dynamic range you want to control. There's a good example of it controlling something. Good for when you have your speaking pastor on it and they got to clear their throat. I just pulled that down so it's not going to be extra loud in the speakers for everybody else that's hearing it. So there's a quick overview of compression.